We're going more on location. We're talking to a more diverse group of people, bringing the special needs community right to you. Hi, welcome to the Wendy Life. This is going to be an incredible show. I have a special guest today, AJ Maland. He is diagnosed with autism, but he's a rock star. He's a rock star in life and musically as well. So AJ, thank you for coming to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You are a drummer, correct?
Yes.
Tell me, how did you start drumming?
Well, my grandpa is actually in a blues band, and he got me started at the age of 3.
Wow, since 3?
Yes.
Wow. So how did you like it? Like, did it help you feel better, help you cope when you were nervous?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I see you holding your sticks. These are your sticks, and we're going to talk
Yes.
about that a little bit later with your charity. But as you went along with drumming, you loved it so much that you wanted to start a charity. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your charity. How did that come about?
Well, about a year ago, I was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and I wanted to use my diagnosis as a way to help other kids with the same diagnosis and help them with music. So music got me through my diagnosis now, and it helps me communicate to people.
Yeah.
And I found out that giving music to other kids with the same diagnosis also helps them communicate to their family and also focus more in life.
That's awesome. So tell me about the name of your charity is.
The name of my charity is Recycled Rhythm.
That's an awesome name. So that means that you're taking recycled drum sets, correct?
Yes.
And you're giving it to others with autism, right?
Yes.
So tell me about like one story where you gave drums and how it made you feel and how it made that person feel.
Well, the first drum set that I gave was my personal drum set that I actually played on.
Wow.
And the kid actually saw me at Morris Cornfest, and he didn't like loud noises, and he really liked the drums.
Wow.
So I let him come up on stage, and he really, really liked them. So my dad ended up working with his parents, and we got in contact with them, and I gifted them my actual drum set that he actually played on at the show.
Ah. And how did he respond to that when you came with your own set?
He loved it.
Yeah.
And it also helped him not only communicate more, and it's also helped him with schoolwork.
Yeah, because there's a correlation, a lot of people say with studies, that music helps you with school.
Yes.
And so that's helped you as well. So you're a junior?
I'm going to be a senior.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about college. So we're going to talk to your parents later, and they're amazing, and your little brother, who is awesome. Now, are you teaching your little brother how to play as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as he wants to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So with this charity, how big? So you've met some celebrities.
Yes.
With this charity, and let's talk about your sticks. So
yes.
Tell us about the sticks. It has your name on it along with their name.
Yes. So the sticks, there's a stick company out of Bensonville who's actually endorsed my my incorporation and is working with me for every single donation of kids. I get their name put on the sticks with the charity name.
Nice.
And they laser engrave them into the sticks.
I know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now wait, okay, so I'm gonna try and be calm with this because I was so excited. So tell us about this.
So when people donate or when they sponsor us, we give them a medal saying thank you for donating. And if they're a proud sponsor, if they donate like a lot, then we get them a trophy with a medal on it.
That's awesome. I know, and I was talking to your parents and they told me about the medal. I was just like, man, yeah, I'd like to have me one of those. And so when you handed it to me, it just made me, I took off my jewelry because I said, this is what I want to wear. This is so awesome. I will treasure this. And it just makes me happy to be able to support you and what you're doing to help other children like you be happier and be able to cope better with their diagnosis. So tell us about your parents. They're coming on, but how do they help you with your charity?
My parents have actually helped me a lot with my charity. They have gotten me incorporated, and they just now got me a 501c3. Wow. So I now accept donations and cash donations,
official.
And I can give people a tax write-off when they donate.
And tell us the name of it, so because we want people to donate and help this charity. It's such a good charity. It's helping awesome people like yourself. Yeah. Tell us the name again.
The name is Recycled Rhythm.
Recycled Rhythm. And we're gonna talk to your parents and your little brother. But now your parents also told me you had an issue with bullying when you were in school before. How'd you overcome that?
I was bullied in elementary school. I was always called gay, and I was always told that I was down, and I ignored them, and I pushed through, and now I am an honor roll student and started a charity to help other kids with the same diagnosis and people who get bullied push through their lives and overcome their fears.
So did playing drums help you push through? What else helped you push through? For somebody who's watching and they're trying to figure out how they can push through, because a lot of kids are bullied. How did you push through?
Every time I got angry, I went and I took it out on my drum set.
There you go.
Because you could beat your drum set and you can't hurt it. Yeah. You could always replace a drum head if you hurt it. And it's better to take it out on something that you could always replace and not take it out on someone else that you can't replace.
Good for you. That's so smart and so mature of you to be that way. Now, I heard the football team helped you as well. How did you get with the football team?
The football team now, I am a lot stronger in life and no one bullies me now.
Because you work out with the football team.
I got into advanced placement strength training classes. Wow. So I strength trained with all the football team.
And that's a serious workout.
Yes, it is.
I love it. So how did you get introduced to the football team to start working out with them?
I was an honor roll student and I applied for leadership for freshmen to lead freshman classes. And I looked at my schedule and I got put into advanced placement with the football team, which I knew some of the football team because I talked to them since freshman year. Mm-hmm. And I sat with them every day. But now I'm with them every day lifting and doing all of their exercises. And
so I'm impressed because I'm just thinking about what I see on TV or what they do when they work out. You are like hardcore.
Yes.
Do you take your brother? Do you teach him some of the moves? Is he strength? He's not.
No, not yet. Not yet.
He's not ready yet.
Right? Not yet.
So with the football team, have they tried to learn drumming, or do they support your charity as well?
Some of them are actually drummers, and some of them have actually supported.
How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel like I have people backing me, and I could always rely on them. If I ever have a problem, I can go ask them for help.
I just think you're awesome and amazing, because a lot of people take their diagnosis and they get down about it. And you, probably through the awesome parents that you have and the community around you, you're able to push through and make something positive out of that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's great. So many of us, we'll wake up, we're tired, we didn't sleep well, or, we're just tired of maybe the job that we're doing, but you have an actual diagnosis that people will take, that you can watch what this person, he's taken what he has and he's catapulted into something phenomenal. But we're going to talk to his parents. We got to talk to, and Jackson, y'all not ready for Jackson. We're going to talk to the whole family when we come back. We're going to take a short break and we're going to come back with the whole Maland family. Stay tuned.
On the next Wendy Life, Wendy talks with Dana Willis and her passion for using sign language for the deaf community.
When I was in school for sign language interpreting, the teacher talked about the message or Christianity or things regarding God in church were lost because there was nobody to bring it to a person who could not hear it.
Yeah.
So if you bring it to them where they are, then
They're
they would be able to receive it as well.
Yeah. Welcome back. We have now added the whole Maland family with us. We have Mom Leanne, Todd, Dad, and little brother Jackson. But I want to start with you, Leanne. Let's talk about the beginning when he was younger and you knew something was just different. Tell us about that story.
He was diagnosed with ADHD when he was 5. His pediatrician noticed a little hyperactivity happening, more so than other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we took him to a pediatric neurologist for diagnosis, and he was diagnosed with ADHD. He was put on meds. He was put in an IEP program at school, so he was in an inclusive classroom always. We didn't actually get him into that until 1st grade. They don't really do anything in kindergarten unless they were brought in with an IEP.
Okay. So an IEP, just for people who don't know, is an individualized educational plan.
Yes.
Just when a child needs something different within their schooling to help them go along. So go ahead. Continue.
So the only real services he had with his IEP were extra time for tests. And he had like 40 minutes a week with the social worker, because more of his problems were with social skills.
Okay.
He did not have the same social skills that the other kids his age had. He was hitting milestones normally, but he would talk to adults. He would not talk with children his own age.
Wow.
So we just kind of always thought that there was something more than ADHD, because those quirks are not really ADHD things. So I actually went to school for like early childhood education.
Good.
I had taken the classes with teaching the exceptional child and everything. So I kind of knew a little bit. So we did ask our pediatric neurologist, if he thought maybe it was Asperger's or autism. So we did have a pediatric neuro psych testing done, a series. It ended very poorly.
Oh, wow.
We got a diagnosis of him being mentally retarded with poor motor skills.
Oh, wow.
We took that and just our pediatrician told us never to show it to the school.
Right, because then he's labeled.
Yeah. Yes, they said do not ever show that to the school. So we just kind of put it off to the side and then asked again and again for another test, and it took until sophomore year in high school.
So is that you're talking 10 years?
Yes.
So what do you?
So the whole time he was being treated as ADHD, different meds. We tried a series of different meds, finally found one that worked for him. And we'd taken him to a few psychologists and things like that, but nothing was really helping. He was still in an IEP with school, still having a lot of problems because of that social skills, a lot of problems with bullying.
Right.
A lot of problems. Yes. Like he never liked the things that the other kids liked. He didn't like the music they liked. He liked oldies. He liked Elvis. He liked
the best music.
Right.
So.
Right. We loved it because, we could connect with him.
Right.
But he's always excelled at everything too, which is another thing that kids didn't like. He could walk in never knowing how to pick up a bowling ball, and he's one of the top bowlers in the league. Baseball, just everything. He just excelled. So,
kids get jealous of that.
Yes, very much. Yes.
So Dad, come on, Dad. When you're going through this 10-year period of the misdiagnosis, something's different. You're fighting, trying to get this new test. How are you coping?
Well, as a family, we all kind of just got together and coped and just supported him through everything that he did, through school and everything else. And luckily, we got involved with the school through PTO, so we were physically there and visible. So
right, you have to be visible.
Administration and everything, and then they started listening to us a little bit more too about his issues.
And getting a better understanding of the addition, not necessarily diagnosed yet, but kind of understanding what his needs were.
Yes.
So for people who are watching, because I've always, You know, I told you guys, I love you guys, that you stuck together. So you say it just like it's a normal thing, like, oh, we stayed together, we stuck together. Tell us a little bit more about what does that mean, we're sticking together?
We've always been there to support each other through everything, literally everything that any one of us have been through as a family. And it's brought us extremely closer in everything. Through work incidents, life incidents, such as himself or even Jackson too. We've always just been there. And like I was telling you earlier, I go, he's just got a huge heart.
Yeah.
He always has, with like the tornadoes I was telling you about.
Yeah, let's talk about the tornado. Let's talk about the tornado and how you guys helped out with that.
The first tornado that went through the Coal City area, it was around his birthday, around Thanksgiving. He came to us and said, I don't want any gifts. He just wanted.
And how old is he at this point?
He was 11.
11.
Who does that?
He wanted
What
to
11-year-old
just
does it?
go down there and volunteer work in the clothes closet.
Yeah, they had a clothes closet where they bagged up and sorted donations.
The donations, okay.
And that's what we did. So we honored his wish. And
So as a family, you went down
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Awesome.
And we went down there and he worked in the clothes closet literally all day on his birthday.
Because you told me 8 hours, right?
Yes.
Actually, I think
At
he was a
11.
little longer. He was
Yeah.
one of the last people still there.
Yeah.
So.
That's amazing.
Yes, yeah.
And then when the second one came through, he heard at work, my work group was going. And then, like I told you, the executive management group got a construction company, and we all went through an area that was supposed to have power restored for 3 days. And we got in there and we cleaned up all the power lines and debris and everything, got the power restored later that day. And the last house we worked with was, ironically enough, a retired music school teacher who saw about him on Facebook and saw some of his videos and actually
You're a celebrity down there.
got to meet him finally. Yeah, it was pretty good.
So as a family, because of his huge heart, you've become more giving and more philanthropic in what you do.
Yes.
Now, you were telling me some cool stories about the drums that you give away. Tell us about the Beatles, the young person who received the drums. Oh, wait a minute. I think Jackson wants to tell this story.
So we got in contact with Nick, the owner of a bar called Looney Bin. And he has a friend that has a kid with autism. And he actually cannot speak. He's nonverbal. So we got there, we donated the set, and he set it up in front of his mirror, and he was playing Beatles, and he can only talk and sing to Beatles songs.
Really?
Yeah.
So he has to face the mirror to see himself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he wants to watch himself.
And he
play.
actually really loved the cymbal more than the drum set.
He did. He hit the cymbal a lot.
That's awesome.
A lot.
So Jackson, as the little brother in all of this, how does it feel to have AJ as your brother and what you go through with him?
I like to help out people a lot, so I like helping out with the charity and like getting the clean sets and stuff. And then getting to tell people how I changed people's lives.
That's awesome. So you like to talk about that.
Yeah.
He's our spokesperson.
You're the spokesperson.
Yes, we were recently invited to the Chicago Drum Show, and he was the spokesperson.
I got in contact with Ludwig, the drum set company.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a big company, isn't it? Okay.
Bill Ludwig Jr., he went and spoke to. He went and tapped him on the shoulder when he was walking
Are you
past.
serious?
Yes.
I love it. So what'd you say?
I said, hi, sir. That we are recycled rhythm. We take drum sets and refurbish them and give them to kids with autism and other illnesses. And he said, okay, well, I might have drum sets at Ludwig, like left over and like drum pieces, and get in contact with me and we could donate them.
You are the spokesperson. That's awesome, though, that you do that. Do you want to do something more as you get older, as far as giving?
I was planning on having, like, when I move, like, for college, like, move away, I was planning to spread the news of recycled rhythm.
He done went to college already. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
I want to go for law enforcement or being a teacher.
Wow. So a service-oriented family. Because you told me what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Well, tell the people what you want to do.
I want to be a fireman. So I applied for the dual credit program that our school has, and I got into it. So when I graduate senior year, I will have about a year and a half done of college.
Half a year. Okay.
Half a year.
Yeah, that's more than most seniors, so it's okay.
Yeah. And I will leave with a EMT license.
Okay, because Dad's an EMT.
Yes.
Now I know you sitting over there, you proud like you. How's that make you feel as a father to hear what your sons are saying?
Speechless.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that like people who maybe haven't been around someone with autism, they should know? Because I think a lot of times we don't know what to do when we see someone who's different. We don't know how to approach. So what can you tell people? Like they see AJ and he looks normal, but then as talking with him, there's something different. How can people learn to approach people with autism?
I think that's the biggest problem that we have is that he looks normal.
Right.
So when he has one of his meltdowns or something like that, people just look at him like he's a bratty, spoiled kid.
Right.
It's a huge problem. You know, not all disabilities can be seen.
Right.
So I think it's just we've just kind of taught them just treat people like people because you never know someone's story, even if it's not a disability. You never know. Yeah, you never know what someone's going through.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. He just approaches people now. This charity has helped him as much as it has helped the other children that he's giving the sets to. Because
and their families.
Yes. Well, because he has had to come out of his shell. He never 2 years ago would have sat in front of a camera and did a TV interview. He's done a radio show interview. He's been on stage with KDG Grader. He has been able to play drums since he was 10 and play on a stage, but behind that drum set. Yeah. Once you remove that drum set from in front of him.
That's the little comfort zone there, right?
Safe place. Yeah. Once you remove that from him, he wouldn't talk. Yeah. So this has helped him so much. And it's also showed him that other kids are looking up to him. Yeah. You know, you're an example now.
The first little boy we donated a set to, like we told you about earlier, Cole, we surprised him with a visit because Cole plays in the Miracle League. Okay. In Joliet. And
so tell us what's the Miracle League?
It's a baseball organization for kids with special needs and kids in wheelchairs.
And we surprised them, and as we walked in, one of the adults from Joliet West Flag Corps, that they bullied him thinking his charity was a fraud. And when we got there, she goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?" She goes, "I'm here to see Cole." And she just like froze. Wow. She goes, "You're the AJ."
And this is an adult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And she realized all along that it was really him. It was true. And then Cole comes running off the field and gave him a big hug.
Because he saw AJ.
He saw AJ. Yeah. And it was just
awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
So you changed that person's perspective with what you kept pushing through, as you said. Tell me about the child that saw you on stage and you brought him up on the stage you were telling me about earlier.
Cole.
Is that Cole?
That was Cole.
Okay.
But
Cole's a celebrity now. I appreciate you guys telling your story because it's important to get the information out there. And I was having a conversation with a friend a couple of days ago that my Christian looks different, but I have the problem of people staring, you know, like he's an alien or something. So I know that there's issues on both sides, but I think I feel more compassion for people who look normal because you look and say, oh, this child is a brat. This child needs to be disciplined. What kind of parents or whatever? How do you, because I know I'm a mama bear. Like, I just want to pounce on people. How do you handle it when someone, they'll give you that look. How do you handle that?
I am
as
a
a
mama
family?
bear.
Right. How do you handle that?
The schools knew who I was. I'll say that. And because I had that background with special needs, schooling, and I did work at a school. I was a parapro, so I did work with special needs. Awesome. Because of that, I knew what he legally could have and what he couldn't have and what they should do about it. When people bully him, yes, I get all over it.
Yeah.
I've had to kind of learn to take a little step back.
It's hard though, as a parent.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to break. I just love this story so much. We're going to go to break and we'll be right back and we will talk just a little bit more to this family. Stay tuned.
Many stories have conflict, but it is through these moments that strength can be discovered.
Everything that I've encompassed in life is through the guidance of my mother and the surrounding of God's angels.
I think a lot of times we are shameful of some of the things that we've gone through, which is why we don't share it.
We are beautiful in our own broken way.
The stories that I have encountered, the stories that I have lived are remarkable, are amazing.
If you're so distracted by your misery, you cannot serve his kingdom.
Life is cheap when you have a lot of material but nothing to show for it.
Happiness has nothing to do with pleasure. It's in here.
You take all of that stuff and you use it as ammunition to make yourself better.
I know that I am here today only because God kept me.
This is my life. This is my story. When I look back at it, I don't regret anything because I know he was setting it all up for the good.
Challenges can be conquered and obstacles overcome.
Welcome back. We've been talking to the Maland family, and I wanted to ask you guys, how does your faith, because I see your shirt says, how much Jesus do you want?
Yes.
How does the faith help you with the challenges that you have?
Well, my mom's friend, Kimberly, when we were down and out and my dad lost his job, her church backed us up and supported us through everything, and they are what got us to what we are now.
Wow. Tell me about that.
So he had lost his job. We had a falling out with family that was staying with us at the time. And they were kind of helping us with our bills. So when they left, we were
and the job lost.
Yes. We were kind of left with nothing, kind of one of those, like, why would you do this kind of things. And I've always gone to church. I was raised in the church. He was raised in the church, but didn't really go that much. I mean, he went on holidays and things after he became an adult, you know. We had been going to my church, but not really consistently. I have a very strong in faith mother.
Wow.
So she helped.
Oh, Mom.
Yes. Yes, she helped immensely. And then my friend Kimberly.
She's lifesaver.
Yes. Yes.
Literally
What did
lifesaver.
Kimberly do?
Kimberly just prayed with us. And I had gone to college with Kimberly, and then we hadn't spoken for quite a few years. And we met at a function that my cousin was throwing probably 5 years ago, maybe. And she runs KDG Greater. And she found out that AJ played drums and just asked me if he would play for one of her plays she was doing, and asked if we would mind that it was Christian music because she didn't know how we were, you know. And I said, absolutely, we would actually love that, you know. And so he played and we kind of reconnected. And that rehearsal for that play, the first rehearsal was held at her church, and it was held the same week that the blowout with our family happened.
Wow.
So
got you just when it was about to, God knows.
It was not a coincidence.
Wow.
It was God. Had we not had that church to go to and have them pray with us every Wednesday, I don't know how we would have made it.
Wow.
My own home church was in between pastors. So even though we were getting prayers from the congregation there, it wasn't what we got personally from her church.
Who never knew any of us.
Yes, they didn't know us at all. And they did not, it wasn't monetary. It was just the prayers. It was more, it meant more than any monetary thing we'd ever gotten. And then just when he decided he wanted to do this with the charity, everything just fell into place. And so when there were challenges, we tell him those challenges that you're having, like that, I don't want to do this anymore. And this drum set's broken 5 minutes before you're supposed to take it. There's a piece
life kicks in, right?
We've been on the road almost to Coal City and had no screw in the drum thrown for the seat, and had to, like, at the last minute run to his cousin's shop who just happened to have one sitting in there for some reason. So, you know, we tell him that's not, if something's really good, that's when the enemy's going to try to destroy it because it's good. That's how you know. That's what we tell them. That's how you know that you're doing something right. If something wrong is happening, that's because you're trying to do something that's going to be huge. So, you know, we've just kind of always relied on that.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get through this. We know that, this is doing good and it's doing good for other people. And it has brought us closer together as a family. We do all the deliveries together.
Nice.
We do all the pickups together.
With your spokesperson.
Yes. Yes. It has brought us much closer. He plays on the praise team at church now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
He works in the sound booth at church now. He has, started helping at the church. We tithe. He got a great job that paid more than the last job.
Favor.
He drives a little further.
That is favor.
The favor that falls upon this one is just outrageous. And so, yes, it's, in the good deeds that we're doing, it's the favor's falling on all of us.
Family. And it's nice that you said, because a lot of people say, oh, you were lucky that you just happened to be by your friend's shop. Or you were just lucky that you ran into someone who can donate. Like that, I don't believe in luck. That's faith and favor.
Exactly.
Yes, and Kimberly has also taught us that. She has
Go Kimberly.
I hear her in my head all the time.
Give Kimberly a shout out.
You don't say luckily, it's prayerfully.
Prayerfully, thankfully, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't want to miss. I keep forgetting to talk about these bracelets. I got jewelry. I got my little thing here. I got jewelry. Tell us about these bands. What do they mean? I think your spokesperson wants to talk.
When we were at the drum show, we had 3 whole bags, and they
3 bags of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
They say recycled rhythm, ink, and then they have
our mission statement.
Percussion with a purpose.
Percussion with purpose is our mission statement.
And he made that up. Yes, percussion with a purpose.
So, when we were at the drum show, I was actually getting people to get bracelets and then giving them the flyer. So I was like kind of baiting them in.
There you go.
So,
he's a good spokesperson. That's awesome. I love everything that you're doing, and I look forward to supporting you guys and what you do. I can't play nothing, but I can pray for you, and I can get the word out about your mission, because that's what it is. It's a family mission.
Yes.
Thought of by an 11-year-old who didn't want a birthday gift.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Did you have something to say? Okay. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for coming. This was incredible, not only because of what you're doing, but because you're doing it as a family, and you're doing it asking for God's help along the way. And that's huge. People need to understand how powerful that is, to have that faith. And like I tell people a lot, you are the only ones who know totally what you're going through. Right. Yep. So outsiders help, but it's the family unit together, and the fact that you're raising them. I mean, you're already a rock star. They know you, and you're a spokesperson. And I just wish you guys all of the best that God has for you in your mission. I look forward to hearing you play. So you guys have to let me know when I can come see you play.
AJ wanted you to know that
this Saturday, Lockport Canal Days.
Yes, Canal Days. But he wanted you to know that he reminded me. He actually graduated out of his IEP this last school year. We had his IEP meeting, his annual meeting, and they sat us down and told us that they feel like since the charity, all of the work he's done and the improvements he's made, and the fact that he's been on honor roll, and the fact that he is actually in an outside band from school and in a band from school, and he plays accompaniment, and he's still holding his grades.
Yeah. Honor roll.
They felt that it was necessary to graduate him out.
How often does that happen?
They told us they didn't have the paperwork because they didn't know what to give us, because it's only happened twice in 20 years with them. So usually kids don't graduate out until they age out.
They age out.
Yeah, so he will do his senior
Quote
year.
from a famous friend, Kimberly, look at God.
Yeah. So he will start his senior year as a general ed student.
Oh, y'all gonna make me cry.
We did.
That's awesome. Congratulations. For that. How'd you feel when they said that?
Speechless.
Speechless. Because with the IEP, it's overwhelming. You're sitting there and you have the therapist, the principal, the nurse, the social worker. You have this table full of people asking you what you want. You're like,
right. So it'll be odd at the end of next year. We will not have an IEP meeting. Yes. And we've been having them every day since, or every year since first grade. Yeah. So,
So now, did you both go to the IEP?
Yes.
So that's important.
We always go together for
everything for school. Parent-teacher conferences, everything. We go together.
So Todd, I just want you to speak to the dads, because as a woman, All I know is men see a problem and they want to fix it. So often it's hard for a man to be presented with a special needs child because you can't fix it. You just have to learn how to tweak your life to give them the best life. Talk to the dads. Like, what does it mean to you to be a part of this?
It means a lot. Seeing how he has grown as an individual, and in return, seeing how he's blessed the families, the recipients. It's just been immensely, like I was telling you earlier, he does keep in touch with the kids. He donates the drums. He'll get little videos, or he'll get texts from them to see how they're doing. Cole himself talks frequently. His mom will send messages to him, and then she even says that his life has been so much better. He's, like AJ said earlier, has been better. He comes home from school, and if he does good at school, he's allowed to play right to the drum set for 30 minutes.
So of course he does good in school.
He does good in school because that's his ambition to come home and do it.
It's actually helped him in school.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he actually was going to come up to the drum show. AJ invited him up. He was going to have him come up there and be in the booth with him, but unfortunately he was sick that weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But otherwise he would have been up there, which would have been a huge step for him.
Yeah.
To come out in front of people to play and stuff like that.
Wow. Because I know it's not always easy.
No.
You know, you have your hard days and just you being there together. And Todd, you work, what are your hours?
Midnights, about 10 at night to 7 in the morning.
So he hasn't slept yet. But I mean, that's kind of your life as a special needs parent, though. You sometimes have to keep going.
You have to adjust. And that's the reason why I stay on midnights. So I'm available during the day in case something happens with either one, especially with him.
He's available for doctor's appointments.
He's available for doctor's appointments. Yeah. School, like when he was getting bullied, I'd have to go to the school and take care of the situation at the school. So I was always available.
Yeah. So you tweaked your schedules to be able to, there's always one parent available.
Yes.
And look at what God did for you. You went to school not knowing that was going to help you with raising your children.
Right. And then he actually got into the early childhood program at Mary Crest School in Joliet, which is for special needs. But he got in when he was for kindergarten or for preschool. He got in because there was an opening. So when there's openings left, they open it to children who aren't special needs. They opened it to him, and he ended up on a school bus with kids in wheelchairs and, kids with disabilities and everything. So once he was, diagnosed, and he was like, okay, this is normal because I've gone to school with this all day, and then he also got into the same program because he was a preemie. So he had a delay. And so he got into the same program. So my kids have just, it's normal. When they see a kid in a wheelchair or a special needs child.
I get bullied because I'm short.
So how do you press through?
I just ignore it most of the time.
Is that always easy for you though?
Kind of.
Do you come home and talk to your parents or AJ about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody shows up at the school.
Yes. I've actually noticed his way of dealing with things. He goes in his room and he turns on K-Love, like praise and worship music.
And that's what listen to.
At what age?
Yeah.
He is
I'm 12. I'm about to be 13.
Yes.
When is your birthday?
November 5th.
Oh, 2 November babies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a big November that you do.
Yeah.
That's good for you, though.
I think what helps when we all go as a family to do these deliveries, and even the donation or the pickups, but especially the deliveries, is that usually I get pulled off to the side by the mom.
Of course.
She asks me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
He goes and kind of hangs with the dad. Yeah. Jackson has gone in the other room and played with the little brother.
Siblings.
So it's just kind of cool that the families have someone to talk to.
Yeah. Now, how long have you guys been married?
We've been married 20 years
next month.
Yeah. And you know what? His parents have been married
50 in September.
And my parents are going to be married like 48, I think.
Wow. So you have that.
Divorce is not in our.
I love that.
It's not in our thing.
No.
I love that. And
it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying my parents haven't had problems. There's been problems, but
you press through.
I learned at a very early age that you stick with it. That's
That's awesome. So do you guys have time to yourselves? Like just go out and have dinner?
No, not really.
No, very rarely.
He says
No,
not
really.
Every once in a while we'll catch a lunch date or something like that. But honestly, it feels weird when it's just the two of us.
You talk about the kids, don't you?
We do. And it just feels weird. I mean, there's not really anything. Like we don't do without our kids. Like,
Yeah.
and our kids always want to be with us, which is kind of weird too. I mean,
Awesome, though.
my son is going to be a senior, and he's always with us.
Yeah.
He's always
I know my
with
son
us.
will come in my office, and I'm like, he wants to talk. Shut everything down, because what 18-year-old wants to talk to his mom, right? So I get it.
And they do. They both talk to us very openly.
Yeah.
And that's helped him a lot with this too. You know,
Yeah.
so that's, I think for them, seeing what we went through and the fact that we held it together.
That's
we
an example.
We almost lost our house. We almost lost everything. And we've gone from that to
Where we're at today.
3 years later. Our bills are paid ahead of time. You know, we have money to tithe to 2 churches, actually.
Wow.
Because on top of tithing to our church, we are also tithing to the church that helped us through, because that is our way of giving back to them. And then, you know, we're paying the money to have, because incorporating is not free.
Okay.
501c, we found out, is not free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But to be able to have that money to pay it and not have it be a burden.
Continue on his mission is what
Yes, it was I frequently tell my mom and Kimberly and him, you know, just I cannot believe where we're at 3 years later. And that is all that is all God.
Yeah.
That is all God.
Yeah, but that's the way he makes it. Like, you can't give anyone else credit. But
Exactly.
Yes.
If you line everything up like that, it can't be anything
and
but
my
God.
mom told me that as long as I keep giving the credit, the good things will keep happening. Because it's when you stop giving God the credit that the good things will not, you know, it's not going to come anymore, because I'm not, you know, praising who gave it to us. So
exactly. As a family, you pray. As a family, you give.
Yes.
And you're always together, and you enjoy it.
Yes. Now, when I see like kids with wheelchairs, I'm actually trying to develop something for kids in wheelchairs. I am trying to develop a drum set accessible for kids in wheelchairs.
I look forward to seeing that, because I know it's going to happen.
That's what we said.
Thank you so much again. This has been a tremendous honor to have you guys on the show and just telling your story. Really quick, how can people learn more about Recycled Rhythm?
Contact us on Facebook.
And it's under Recycled Rhythm.
Recycled Rhythm, yes, Recycled Rhythm on Facebook, or Recycled Rhythm Inc. on Instagram.
Because we are incorporated.
Yes. On Instagram, yes.
So you guys check out AJ and the whole family and give. You know, everything isn't free. So whatever you give is helping another child with a disability come out of their shell. But until next time, thank you guys, and do something kind for someone just to make them smile. God bless everyone.